Hey, what's up, guys? Randall from OddsJam back with you today for a video. It's been a long time since I've been on YouTube, but Modi's out of town this weekend. Alex is busy as well, so I am going to do a video today. It's about NFL. Just going to take a look at some early betting in the NFL for the 2022 season. Just going to share my thoughts on some week one games, going to take a look at some other things that I use in the NFL. So I've talked to several customers here over the past few weeks. There's quite a few things that I look for when handicapping the NFL. So I'm going to share some of those thoughts. I know I mentioned this to some of you on phone calls to shoot me an email. I'd be more than happy to share my NFL sheet with you. The one that I'm going to share today is not the full sheet. Don't want to give everything away in this video, but nonetheless going to show you some profitable NFL betting spots that I've found throughout the years in betting the NFL. For those of you that don't know, I finished top 30 in the Westgate Super Contest back in 2017. Haven't been able to enter it the last couple of years due to COVID, so hopefully can get back out there this year and try to enter that contest. So let's go ahead and jump right in to some of these scheduling spots. So, this one here, I call these my NFL system plays. These are games and teams who will have played 3 home games in a row or 3 road games in a row. So basically what you're looking for here is, a team who has not covered the first 2 games and looking to back them in the 3rd game. You're also looking for a team who has covered the first 2 games to not cover that 3rd game. So, the logic behind this is, let's just say, for example, I've got this pulled up for the 49ers. So if we take a look at their schedule, you can see here they're playing this game in Mexico City, I believe, against the Cardinals. And then they start a 3-game home stretch. So this is not technically a home game for them. So let's just say, for example, the Cardinals don't cover against the Saints. They don't cover against Miami. Okay, so this now adds value to the 49ers in this game against Tampa because they will have lost 2 home games in a row, hopefully, and will have not covered. So basically what you're looking for, again, is a team who has not covered 2 home games in a row, looking to back them in the 3rd. It is profitable for the road teams as well. It's not as profitable. I prefer this home team angle where you get a team that's lost 2 straight home games and they don't obviously want to lose a 3rd straight home game. So now I guess if the Niners if the Niners win one of these 2 games, but they don't cover, both of them, then it still is a play. It's just not as strong. So ideally they lose, and then you look to get some added value here because, after 2 weeks of losing at home, there's just going to be some generated value from having lost back-to-back home games and not covering. And they're playing Tampa Bay. So everybody loves to bet the Bucs and Tom Brady. So this is absolutely perfect. And again, these are all of the spots here. We can just take a look. Panthers week 5. We'll just go to their schedule. I can show you what I'll be looking for there. So you can see the Panthers in week 5. This is a 3-game home stretch. Again, they play the Saints, they play the Cardinals, and they play the Niners. So ideally, if they lose both of these games against the Saints, against the Cardinals, they don't cover them. And then we get some added value in this game against San Francisco. So we can take a look at the Cardinals as well. I believe that one is a spot where they're on the road, but we can double check here. So week 14. So this one actually is not correct. I'm glad I looked at that. So let's actually go ahead and delete that. That is an error on my end because they're actually playing. That is not a home game. That is in Mexico City. So I missed that Let's take a look at a different one. I'm going to have to go back through and double check all of this when I finish. Won't do it on this video. So Cowboys, week 14. We'll just take a look here so you can see Cowboys in week 14, at home against New York, at home against the Colts, at home against Houston. So again, we're looking for this spot. Now, if the Cowboys win and cover one of these two games, or even if they lose and cover, this play is automatically dead. So you'll know after the second game whether or not you're going to be looking to make this a play. So that's my first spot in the what I call the NFL system plays. Here they are. I do need to go through and double check these. As we saw just a second ago, the Cardinals were not a potential play because they are on the road in Mexico City, and it's a neutral game. The next one is an out-of-conference road game followed by a divisional road game. So these are the spots that we are looking for to potentially fade these teams. So let me just go to the schedule so that I can explain it to you. We're looking at the Buffalo Bills week 12. So you can see, is that correct? Buffalo Bills week 12. Let's see here. So Buffalo Bills week 12. You can see they're at Detroit, which is Thanksgiving, and then they are at New England. So this is an out-of-conference road game followed by a divisional road game. So essentially, you're viewing this as a spot that is a look ahead for Buffalo. So they're probably not as focused on Detroit as they are on New England. This New England game is a much more important game to them because it is a conference game. So week 12, we would be looking to fade the Bills. We can take a look at the Browns here. It looks like week 17 is the spot there. So we'll pull this up. We'll take a look at their schedule. We see week 17, they are at Washington, followed by a game at Pittsburgh. Now, this could be a great fade on Cleveland, especially if this is like a must-win game and, they have Pittsburgh on deck, which is always, a tough divisional game. So, again, you're just looking for spots that a team is potentially looking ahead, or just they're not putting as much value on this out-of-conference road game as they are a divisional road game. Now, you can see here that I have this Packers game highlighted. It's in bold. It's got stars. This is actually probably going to be my game of the year in the NFL. And I know you might be thinking, how in the heck can you possibly know what your game of the year is in the NFL? And the season hasn't even started. Well, let me just show you. So this is perfect because the Packers are on a 3-game road trip. And this is why it's starred, because this is kind of a very rare play here. So you can see the Packers are at Washington, then they are at Buffalo. This is a Sunday night game, and they play Detroit the next week. So you've got 3 things going for you here. You've got a 3-game road trip. You've got out-of-conference road game followed by a divisional road game. And then you have the Packers playing a Sunday night game, and then they're on the road the next week at noon, which is another thing that I like to look for. So I can tell you right now, I will be very, very heavy on the Buffalo Bills in week 8, assuming that, Josh Allen's healthy, it's not 2 backups going at it or whatever. But this spot right here, Buffalo and Green Bay, is going to be a spot where I am going to be all over Buffalo in this particular spot. So again, here are the rest of these. I'm not going to go through all of them, but these are the teams, these are the weeks that you're looking to fade them. We'll take a look at the Bucks just because everybody loves them. It looks like week 6 is a fade on them. So you can see they're at Pittsburgh, followed by a game at Carolina. So that would be a spot that I would be looking to fade Tampa Bay. I will tell you up front, this did not perform very well last year. But there was a game where the Packers fit this spot, and they were on the road at the Bengals. The Bengals were catching 3.5 on the opener. and they ended up losing that game by 3. I think it closed 2.5. So if you were late to the party, you missed the key number. So having this information and kind of knowing what you want to do prior to the week starting in the NFL is very, very helpful, allowing you to get key numbers. And then the last thing that I look for, and this isn't really like just auto bets and something that you want to really get behind, but I like to fade teams based on their ATS from the previous year, or I like to bet teams based on their ATS from the previous year. So some teams to fade, Miami was 11-5 against the spread. Dallas was 13-5. Cincinnati 14-7. Green Bay was 12-6. This one kind of surprised me. Detroit was 11-6 against the spread. And then San Francisco was 12-8. So those were kind of your top teams there. Again, these aren't like auto fades, but just potentially some spots to look for because there's probably some more perceived value on the other, or at least I say perceived value. There's kind of that perception that these teams did really well last year, creating value on the other side. And then teams to bet, based on the ATS last year: Minnesota, Atlanta, the Jets, the Giants, and the Bears, all 6-10 and 6-11. So this is not something really, really strong, but it is something I do like to look at kind of early on in the year, as the perception, of these teams is kind of still in the minds of people from the previous year. So going to go ahead and take a look here at some futures, just some win totals that I wanted to go over that I like. I do actually like the Jags this year over 6 wins. I think that, call me crazy, I'm not a big Trevor Lawrence guy, but I think Trevor Lawrence does have a much better year this year. I think that the Jaguars do go over that win total of 6. And, I can tell you, Steve out there, if he's watching this, I'm the biggest hater of Trevor Lawrence, but I do think he takes a step forward this year. And I do like the Jags over 6 wins. And then the other one that I'm looking at, and I mean, this is one that I think everybody likes, and it's the Chargers over 10 wins, minus 125. I think there's some value there. I will say I'm not a big team futures guy for win totals, but those are 2 that I like. And then if we take a look at the awards, MVP, and again, shop around for this, you can definitely get some better numbers looking around out there. But, MVP, I'm going to go back to the Chargers here. I think Justin Herbert at plus 1,000 has some very good shot to be the MVP. I think the Chargers are going to be very good this year. I really do like the Chargers. And then just taking a look here at week 1 in the NFL, just to kind of give you guys, a little bit of a look ahead. I will say I've already kind of got my games picked for week 1. These are subject to change, so don't go run and bet these. And then if you're obviously watching this prior to week 1, these could change. So just be aware of that. But some games that I like week 1, I do like Jacksonville plus the 4 here against Washington. I think that is a solid play. I do like the Steelers plus the 6.5 against the Bengals. Bengals coming off the Super Bowl loss. You see the hangover year in and year out. So I think there's some really good value there on the Steelers. And then the other game that I'm looking at is the Broncos and the Seahawks. I do think the Broncos have a very solid year this year. However, I think there's going to be a lot of value fading them, at least early on. And I said before the NFL schedule even came out, I said the Seahawks will be, or not the Seahawks, whoever the Broncos play in week 1 will probably be my biggest bet to go against them. And it just so happens to be Seattle with the return of Wilson to Seattle. So I do like the Seahawks in this spot plus the 4. So again, just taking a look at week 1, just kind of early reactions to these lines. I like the Jags plus the 4. I like the Steelers plus the 6.5. And then I like the Seahawks plus 4. I'm a big player of NFL dogs. Not a big fan of laying the favorites or laying the number with the favorites. Not afraid to do it, but I love to bet the underdogs in the NFL. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Been looking forward to doing it. Had an opportunity to do it this weekend. So, be sure, comment, like the video. If you've got questions, you can email me, contact@oddsjam.com, Randall@oddsjam.com. If you want to schedule a call just to go over OddsJam, whatever, happy to do that as well. The Calendly links are below. Click those, sign up for a one-on-one tutorial with OddsJam so that you can start making more money. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate your time and have a good day.